Well, this is going to be fun. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to the Link to the Past Randomizer League Season number 3. We are here for this match between the Last Locationers and the Two Pearl, Two Furious. I'm Adirondack Rick, being joined by Nihon Tiger, and what a battle we have here for the Lost Woods Division.
Absolutely. We've got ourselves the first of 2 matches this weekend between these 2 teams, and boy, could not come at a more tense time. We've got Last Locationers are P1 right now. They are looking at having 8 wins, 2 losses, 24 points, tied with 3 other teams for that top spot. But Two Pearl, Two Furious right behind at 7-3, 21 points. So if you really want to see a really tense race on Sunday between these 2 teams, you're probably cheering for Two Pearl, Two Furious because they get a win here, and the lead of this group gets decided in the next race. But
That's right.
Yep.
And right now we are starting things off as we begin this race with the Find a Compass in Turtle Rock and a key. A small key to Misery Mire. So all dungeons, keys, sanity, all the dungeons need to be done. We need to find the keys that allow us to defeat all the dungeons. And as you were pointing out, if Two Pearl, Two Furious wins, at the time being, there will be a 5-way tie for the Lost Woods Division lead. And that's going to be incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, it even regardless of the situation, it'll still be very close going into the last week here. Some of these teams are going to be going home empty-handed after next week, so this last week of matches in this group is going to be very, very tense and very, very exciting to watch.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but here we go. Let's go ahead and just remark about some of the things that we'll be seeing throughout this entire run. What was that on the ledge?
I think I just barely missed it, unfortunately.
Well, we have 147 eyeballs that will be, or 147 pair of eyeballs that will let us know that it is a small key on that lumberjack ledge. So we have no idea what that means.
Yep, very inconclusive right now. We don't know if we need it or not. Especially because we can't walk up to it and check it.
Yeah, and there are keys in this game that, they're nice to have, but they're not really required to be. Like, for instance, that Skull Woods key that Trinexx just ended up picking up here in the Lost Woods. That's Goomba's about to find in just a few moments. And I do like the effort here to get some extra rupees off the tree, knowing that it's 5s for a single enemy to be killed. 1 through 4 enemies killed will yield you that tier 1 tree pull. And you do need to have some rupees in Kakariko Village, and in Key Sanity, it is harder to get money in the village.
That's a good point. It's going to be a little bit more difficult because of mostly I think because of the fact that you don't really have, the keys being in a normal spot, so you kind of have a lot more shuffled in here. So it's not really a gimme that we're going to find a bunch of rupees here in the well or going in the blind side or anything like that.
And so we find a small key to Dark Palace. There are 6 of them. Hoping to get lucky, maybe to find some bombs in here. And that's the other reason why you will kind of want to get some rupees for Kakariko Village, because bombs, and this is a major effect of the extra items into the pool here with the maps and compasses, big keys as well. Now, Goomba ended up getting lucky. He got some bombs. He also gets himself a book. He gets some more bombs. Now, Trinexx is about to get those bombs as well. 6 of them here in Blind's Hut.
So they'll be kind of welcome there. Of course, they'll get a little bit of money here, picking up these pots and throwing them. And they get a lot more money as well, a big 50 showing up. So the money trouble's not quite trouble here to start with, but we will get to see what's the bottle vendor's item, because probably going to get a nice little jaunt over there right now. Well, actually, Goomba's got to go get the stuff out of the well first, but Trinexx will probably go up there and do the thing.
Yeah, we're going to see what was behind that bomb wall that Trinexx was unable to get, and see what happens here next. As turns out to be just a compass. So unfortunate news here for Trinexx is return here is going to be for a peace of mind, but not for anything important.
Yeah, but you got to check these locations, especially
Oh,
these
yeah.
ones early, because you want to make sure you don't miss something that you really need.
We have seen races here this season that have come down to somebody not checking the bit back of one of these bomb walls, and somebody did, and it turned out to be a required item, and therefore, race done, and whoops.
Yep, and obviously the keys, of course, being all over the place. You don't want to get in the situation where you
Nice and
isolate
convenient
something.
bottle.
Oh, yeah, nice bottle there as well. But you don't want to isolate one of those keys that you're really going to need, like, say, if we got to go to Castle Tower, Hey, where's that second key at? Oh, it's here in this location. I got to walk all the way over here to get.
And you know how this game works out. This game decides, hey, look, you're going to forget a spot. Well, we're going to put something important in that one spot that you forgot or couldn't get to at some point because the game knows.
Yep, but we got the convenient flute. It's right here. We're going to see both our runners go grab that out of the back of the tavern and just going to wake up the duck. It's like the dream
So wake it up,
placement.
it's just sleeping?
Yep. Yeah, it might be sleeping, it might be trapped inside of a large weather vane. Same difference.
It's just waiting for somebody to play it a melody. So we're heading on over to the library, see what is boot blocked. Let's see if it's anything of importance, and that's not important.
I think we'll probably not see them return for that. We're going to get a blind maze race check here.
In Key Sanity, doing the blind race is going to pay off more often than not, because sometimes it's going to be a key, a big key, or of course one of our required items. And to be honest, we haven't seen a whole lot in this village.
Yeah, it's been pretty. Yeah, that will pay off. I think a sword will be really, really, really convenient to have. You can poke things now and not die.
Well, not dying is very important in this game, especially when you're at the caliber that these runners are at.
Absolutely.
Because you got to think that with this level of runners, that a death is going to put you behind.
Yeah, this group, you really don't want to be in a situation where you're taking a death that you don't need to take. And generally, you don't want to do that. But when the margins are as tight as they are right here, just a damp map. But when the margins are as tight as they are in this group, you really can't afford mistakes. So it's just got to be. I won't say flawless execution, because very rarely do you ever see flawless execution in any of these races. But you just gotta execute to the best of your abilities.
So as we see the Trinexx, or rather Goomba, taking care of the mini Moldworms, Trinexx now draining the water. Get the 5 items inside here. Oh, that's a nice one right there. That's also helpful.
I would say so.
That's beneficial. That's all right. And
that's magic battle.
And hammer and powder. Yeah, magic and powder together makes you wonder.
I wonder if Goomba is going to follow up on that. Yeah, he is going to follow up on that lead. I like that play. I found more often than not, just from experience, that usually if you get some kind of combination like that and it seems really obvious, you should probably go check it, because it's very likely the game being like, yeah, I was trying to tell you to go do the thing, and you didn't do the thing for 20 minutes. Wonder why you're behind.
So you have to wonder if Goomba's going to be feeling ahead if there turns out to be something here.
Yeah, it kind of depends on what it is. We'll see in just a moment.
Nope. Not really.
Nope.
So the next thing that makes you wonder is the fact that, hey, we already got the mirror, we already got the hammer. What does Death Mountain have?
Yeah, that's a good It's a good point. But Trinexx not gonna take the magic bat check here. Gonna go take.
Yep. Instead, he's gonna go and see what is in the ice rod cave.
Yep. I usually kind of would refer to this as more of a expected route in a lot of modes. Just go up here, get this one location out of the way, so you don't have to worry about it.
If this turns out to be something like the boots, then this is a big advantage. But it turns out to be the wrong kind of red. 20 rupees.
Yeah, just kind of a.
He's gonna leave.
Kind of just a check there, just to make sure. Might as well do it. Keep those.
Goomba getting a well-timed health refill. That's where that magic bag pays out.
Yeah, that's it's always good, especially going up here with the big boulders. Wanting to make sure that you don't get hit by them.
And here goes Trinexx to
green mail
magic
4
bag.
hearts. Yep. Yeah, green mail 4 hearts is it's really tough here. So just getting through here and getting all these checks out of the way. Oh, ooh, magic cape on top of the spectacle rock there. Once inside.
And blue mail, which is a all right find, but Goomba's going to leave it behind.
Yep. I can't say I blame Goomba. Of course, we don't have Moon Pearl, so we're gonna get our bunny sprites and not be able to do a whole lot in Dark World till we get that pearl.
But that magic cape does open up the first chest of Agate Tower.
Mm-hmm.
And I make things go triple boom. That is 3 bombs. And although Goomba's bomb count currently sits at 3, he's not going to be returning there with the Master Sword to yield those 3 bombs.
Yeah, not worth it. Especially when you have money, you can just go out and buy some anyways. If you really need to.
So we're on the top. So we're on the Tower of Hera, and there's only 2 checks that we can make at this point inside of this dungeon without the small key that gets you downstairs or the big key that gets you further up. And of course, we don't have the hook shot, so therefore this is a 2 and done.
Yep. And there's no guarantee, of course, that the big key is going to be inside because key sanity could be anywhere. Oh, anywhere within logic.
Now, Trinexx does not have the mirror.
Yeah, that's not that is kind of interesting because he hasn't gone to Uncle yet, so hasn't made that check and hasn't picked up the mirror. White. He's not going to grab it right now. He's going to go check out Desert Palace instead.
Yep, trying to see if that's why the seed is giving you a book early on. And that's kind of the way that you like to treat the pathing through this seed. Why is this seed giving me this key? Why is this seed giving me these items? Now, with Desert, we only have access to 1 item in here. But we couldn't get knowledge about the second item that is on the torch.
That's true. Gives you an opportunity to check some things out. And I'm going to get that item check right here.
Wise move to go with the magic cape right there and the better sword for Trinexx inside of Desert.
That's a nice find. Meanwhile, Goomba's over here checking out the interior of Paradox Cave. Gets the flippers. And Hyrule Castle key.
And the useless Hyrule Castle key, though, with the lamp, it is logic now to the back 3, because we don't know where the glove is.
That's true. Ooh, tried to get.
I will say that I did like Goomba using the magic cape to get around those Tektites, because you get hit with one of those red Tektites, you lose 2 hearts. There's the Moon Pearl. So now we're just a glove away from Dark World access. We have 3 of our Palace of Darkness keys now been found.
And it kind of feels like Goomba is maybe a little bit closer to what the anticipated pattern is as far as the logic pattern, because we've already got the mirror, we've got the pearl. We're pretty good to go on exploring the Dark World here at some point if we need to. but we do need that glove to be able to actually lift up the rocks. So could very well still be a situation where we've got to go to the AGA 1 fight to get to Dark World access.
Yeah, we sure are missing 2 Castle Tower keys before we can even consider a trip over to AGA 1. We're going to learn that the Green Panda is an ice palace, and this is where you want to talk to Sahasrahla as well as the bomb vendor to find out that information, since map checks do us no good as long as we can't find the maps to those dungeons. We find Palace of Darkness key number 4 behind Sahasrahla, so I'm thinking this seed wants us in the Palace of Darkness once we get Dark World access. Turtle Rock big key found.
Yeah, that's I think that's probably a good read on that. We've got pretty much at least half the keys that we need to get through Palace of Darkness, almost halfway to full clear, I think. So yeah, we're kind of getting a little bit of a hint that maybe we should at least poke inside there and see if there's something important, and Trinexx can go get that mirror now.
Yeah, he's going to be hitting himself for going up to Death Mountain without getting that mirror first. But now he can get that magic cape, and we see Goomba inside of Hyrule Castle.
Yep, going to the back.
Now, because he's got that small...
Oh, sorry about
that.
Now,
because he's got the small key, he can get the back 3 of escape now.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was going to say just a moment ago. Just thinking that probably going to get those back 3, maybe Dark Cross here as well. Get those 4 taken out of the way, and then we don't have to worry about that anymore.
What do you think is going to be our Dark World access? Glove, right?
Yeah, I think glove would be the thing that we would assume would show up at some point here. Probably maybe even then as back 3. But Trinexx I don't need the cape. I'm just going to go in the front door with the sword. I'm starting to think this might actually be AGA requirement to get to Dark World.
Yeah, but again, we're still missing 2 Castle Tower keys. Although, we still have a whole lot of checks still to make here that are still in the early spears.
Yep.
Ooh, just a 5 rupee there. Back 3 of escape, a map, this one to Eastern Palace. They're the boots and the big key to the Desert Palace.
Ooh, that seems a lot more worthwhile now to do that Desert Palace check for Goomba. Just because you have, boots, you've got the big key, you can at least open up 2 of the item locations, and we know there's a sword in there. Right side's not going to be doable because we don't have that other Desert Palace key yet, so we can't complete the dungeon because we don't have the gloves.
Yep. Those gloves going to be the only thing that is stopping Goomba from being able to finish the dungeon at this point in time. And if you do beat the dungeon without finding the Desert Palace small key, it is considered out of logic.
Correct.
So right now, it seems like Goomba is getting himself a lot of early advantages, but this is still a long seed. We still have about an hour 45 before we figure out who's going to win this thing, so this one's not going to be over with just yet.
Nope. Not unless the keys are super, super friendly at this point. It's key sanity. I don't think that's going to be the case.
Now, technically for Trinexx, what he's doing is a sequence break because he hasn't seen the Hyrule Castle key just yet, but we know where that key is.
And of course, we get the big key of this dungeon.
And yay, the compass to Skull Woods.
It's very important.
So the boots open up 2 checks here. The Torchen Desert and the Bonk Rocks.
Yeah, I think between those 2, I think you go do Bonk Rocks, Flute, and go do Desert after that. I mean, that makes the most sense. That's just efficiency of routing. You are correct, Rick. Those are the 2 locations we'll see everybody go to. I bet we might even see Goomba make a trip out there in just a moment.
Well, he has
Nope.
yet to check the ice rod cave. So that's exactly where he's heading to right now. Now, Trinexx, knowing that there's a cape up here, is going to be going back over here. Plus, of course, the checks over on the right-hand side. So he's about to get the Hyrule Castle key. And we'll see how he routes things afterwards.
Yeah, I feel like that's always got to be frustrating when you, even if you don't know what your opponent's doing, when you just find things, you're just like, I was just at that location, and now I have the thing I need to get further in that location. Why couldn't I find this sooner? In the water walk from Goomba. Oop. Gonna water walk on over to Bonk Rocks, it looks like.
Yep, and here's the one check that we were mentioning about just a few moments ago, and that is a heart container.
I'm trying not even gonna use the book to check because he's got the Master Sword, but gets 3 bombs and is so happy, so happy. Look at those happy swipes.
Look at those happy hops. Those are the hops of somebody whose life is good right now.
Absolutely.
I do want to say that I do love the fact that the Poke's map sprite is the Quake Medallion.
It is a very nice little touch. I love all these little touches on the different sprites that we have are just fantastic.
How about the new ones that they just added on?
I know, I'm still trying to catch up on all the new ones, and we're gonna get that Rick sprite yet?
No. You can play it if you're an imposter.
It's Monkey the Castle Tower.
Oh!
Oh, yep, there's one of them.
And you're thinking when you find that, son of why couldn't I have this a few moments sooner?
That's a great question.
We do know we need to find it at some point in time, because this being all dungeons key sanity, it is a requirement to do all of these dungeons, including Aga 1. And now Goomba is going to be doing the trip over here to Agina, and by jumping off, we definitely know he's not going to steal a key, because the way you want to play this, don't steal a key, because then you're now searching for another item in order to beat the dungeon. A lot of runners will wind up just deciding to go ahead and limit the things that they have to go back for. Plus the fact they don't have the gloves, so they can't even get to that key at all.
Yeah, on Goomba's side here, I've been waiting for somebody to actually go over here and do this. We're going to see a journey into Eastern Palace, even though we don't have everything we need to beat the dungeon yet. You know, it's a situation. What if you find that second castle tower key in Eastern? That's about as big of a big flashing light as you can expect to find in this game, telling you what to go do next.
You also got to go in with the expectation that you are going to have to double dip something at some point in time.
Right.
There's the 4th pod key for Goomba, but we can't even get there just yet. By the way, if you think this division is crazy in the Lost Woods division, just wait until you see next week's schedule in the co-op Randomizer.
That's gonna be really fun to watch. It's gonna be between all those runners that are going against each other, plus just the game mode. It's gonna be really interesting to see how everyone handles it.
Mm-hmm. Like I like Big Boots going up against the last locationers. That could be a battle for first. You have the spoilers going up against 2 Pearl, 2 Furious. That could be a battle for first, or that could even be a battle for who gets the last playoff spot. And you can't forget about Triple Dino Disaster, who'll be facing off against Never Do Chickens. That's going to be a wild match, too. Week 7's going to be awesome here in the Lost Woods division.
Sure is, and we are going to be seeing Goomba go through and clear out as much of this dungeon as possible. So there's 2 more chests to check, unless we've got that big key hiding somewhere in this dungeon, which probably not likely, but you never know. I've seen it happen before, can happen again.
Foreshadowing, isn't it?
Maybe. Maybe, or maybe I'm just trying to get chat to call me a wizard again.
You know, if you're right, they consider you to burn the witch.
Yep. I'm ready for it. Yeah, it's my guess, probably not likely that we'll find that in here, so we'll find something in this last chest, of course, but what could it be?
I'm going to say it is going to be 50 rupees. Now, don't forget, we also have the flippers, so we still have all of those checks still to go.
That's a good point. We probably will see a journey up to the northeast corner of the map to pay a little visit to everyone's favorite scam artist / Fish King.
And it's the map to Ice Palace. Which didn't we already know was a green pendant anyway?
Yes. Also, a thing that most people do know.
Hula hand strats.
Mm-hmm.
Or not.
No. But yep. This is the play to check those 4 items up here, so let's see what we got. Actually, going to check 3 because we don't have enough money for the scam alert.
All right, in here we have the big key to the Tower of Hera, plus 100 rupees.
Mm-hmm.
And a bottled fairy.
So let's see what's up on that ledge. Is it trash or treasure?
It's trash.
Yep. And the bug nuts.
And we have the bug catching net on the island. That is a no.
Say no unless you like memes, in which case it's a yes.
24 pieces of heart takes way too long to fill up. All right, back into the Tower of Hera. This time we have access to 3 chests because of this big key. And just as a reminder, we're not guaranteed to find anything here because we still got a Agate Tower chest number 2 that's in logic.
I think that would be kind of cruel though if it was like, hey, here's an item that helps you go do some more stuff. Now get out of the tower and go do some more checks.
Well, that would have been the case if the first chest actually had something worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, this also could be cruel and put something required on Zora.
Yep.
As we see Goomba doing the Hera bomb jump, pulls it off perfectly and gets himself 20 rupees.
Yes, indeed. And 50 more.
50 more.
Yep.
What does Moldorm have?
I don't know. Gosh, there's so many evil possibilities. That's the mushroom.
Well, that's evil right there.
Yep. Getting checked into the boards, unfortunately. But
isn't that a 5-minute major?
Yeah, it depends. Might have been a clean check. But Goomba getting another
There was
shot
nothing
here
that was
and-
clean about that check.
But getting, let's see. Yeah. Okay. Burn the witch. Come on, let's go. Let's go.
Well, if we burn the witch, then who am I doing commentary with?
My soul. Apparently.
Let's head on over to the potion shop. Oh, God.
Okay, now this will be something useful.
Oh, God. Castle
Yep.
Tower 2. Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Time to go upstairs and climb the tower. Guess what? Going to Dark World, kids.
And don't forget, we got 4 pod keys, so there's
Mhm.
likely something inside of the Palace of Darkness, too.
Yep. And we got the hammer so we can get over there. Well, if, obviously if we weren't already over there in the first place. But
Well, we can check Hype Cave before we go into the Palace of Darkness. Maybe we get the big
Yep.
key.
that's true. It's gotten wild asking, did Goomba go into Eastern Palace? Yep, Goomba did go in there, and Trinexx has been in there as well. So both runners have dipped into there, gotten all the items out that they could, and found that nothing of value was really in there.
I think if you really are trying to figure out what's got Goomba the lead here is the fact that Trinexx had to double back into the castle to get to the back 3, and then also had to go back up the mountain because he went up without the mirror.
Yeah, getting that early mirror off Uncle was really important for Goomba having a little bit more efficient routing, being able to do the clear up there on top of the mountain, as you said, Rick. Doing it in one shot instead of having to go back and do it a second time.
All right, well, Trinexx is going to be heading back up here with his now newly found the Tower of Hera big key, so he will get the mushroom and go, God, game, you suck. Now, the good thing about having the Castle Tower keys this early on is it means you don't have to play the game of which of 27 chests in Ganon's Tower is going to have Castle Tower 2.
Yep, that's definitely off the table, so will be somewhat welcome probably for both runners, not have to worry about that.
Nice clean kill of the captured guard there, or the caged guard, to get the key, and so you can move on to the 6th floor. Now, there are people putting in numbers in the chat, 5, 3, 7, and 1. Why are they putting numbers in the chat here, Neon Tiger?
Well, we're putting those numbers in chat because we're trying to guess how many of the blue ball attacks that Aga is going to throw at our beloved runners tonight.
Could be like my ladder race, where it was 9.
Ooh, that's tough. So it is technically a number between 1 and I believe 15 is the number in a clean cycle, in a like an absolutely dirty cycle that you would get if it was just the first shot here being a regular one. The next 3 are kind of whatever, and
Sorry. That was 3
It's okay.
denials there by Modorm.
Yep. But so far, nothing terrible on this. That's 4 in a row for Goomba. He's going to get his 5th here after this attack. So it's a 5 attack cycle, and it resets. First one's always going to be a regular fireball attack, and the last one in that cycle is always lightning.
Perfect. 0. Did anyone guess 0?
Yep. Appreciated.
Pretzi, you are
Mhm.
kind to these runners.
Yes.
Everyone else, you're rude. And if you want bombs, there you go. But with 9 bombs in the pocket, Goomba's not going to take that. So we're going to head on over towards the... Are we heading to Hype Cave first, or are we going to head to the Palace of Darkness? And it looks like we are going to the Palace of Darkness first.
Yep.
And Trinexx getting his fate, knowing now he's got to go back to the Castle Tower. Wait, he's got to go back to Desert first, because he's only got 1 Castle Tower key.
Oh, this... Unless he's... That's not a good bet. To bet that the second one's up there. Friend, you have the boots. You can go back and check Desert. Oh no.
It's a one-off at this point. Now, what does Goomba have for his potions?
I think it's just got 2 fairies. I think we have a blue, and then we've got...
Okay, so he does have something that he
do
can
we
use.
have 2? We might just have 2 fairies, though. I think he might have used the blue. Well, we had an empty bottle, and that was a fairy, and then we got a fairy in the bottle earlier that I don't think we've used yet, so it might just be 2 fairies, yeah.
Okay. Because if he has a blue goo, then he's got a chance to do the bottle glitch here and get to the 2 mimic side items. But if he doesn't, then, well, maybe he might try to do the clip, but we'll see. But Goomba routing his way through here and setting himself up over towards the right-hand side now as we speak. And Trinexx is muttering a few words that are not safe for SpeedGaming 3 at this point in time as he goes back to Desert.
Well, thankfully we can't hear the commentators' comms right now, so we just get the dulcet tones of their game sounds.
I thought you were going to say the dulcet tones of your audio.
No, just a piece of heart.
And
there.
so we get a piece of heart. Yep.
And the small key.
That's TR. That's the first small TR that we've got.
Gonna check some of these back half locations, it looks like, after bonking across. Check this one, and just a big 20. He's trying to use the... Nice, there we go. Using the sword beams to set that up. That's actually really, really smart. I think it's something that gets forgotten from time to time, is that you can do that. You don't necessarily need to have the bow to be able to flip that switch. It just makes it a lot easier.
Oh yeah, because we know how those sword beams could work out sometimes.
Ooh,
and there's another item that you can use towards hitting the switch, but with that being where that was, you weren't going to do that.
Oh, of course not.
Nice red king, and we get a small key. That's Turtle Rock 2.
And the hook shot.
And the hook shot.
Yes. That's well, we got the big key and 2 small keys for Turtle Rock and the key to Samaria, so starting to put together our Turtle Rock Adventurers pack.
And that hook shot now gets us over towards the west side of the Dark World as well.
That's a great point.
And now Trinexx making his 3rd trip into the Castle Tower, which is very unfortunate here. You don't feel good about where you are as far as compared to your opponent at this point in time. You just hope that your opponent got caught in the same trap.
Yep. It's one of those things that when you're a runner, you kind of hope that, but you also kind of have this feeling in the back of your head like, no, they didn't do that. And you're just kind of like at the point where you really want to go fast, but you don't want to go so fast that you make any more mistakes that starts putting you further and further behind. Big key to GT in the Dark Maze.
Yeah, so we will not be playing the Ganon's Tower Big Key guessing game this time around. Sorry, everyone.
Yep.
And so we have options. We have the options of heading on over towards the west side of the Dark World, which thanks to having the flippers or the hammer plus the hook shot can get us over here without having a glove in our arsenal. We also have the possibility of heading southbound, which would get us over towards Hype Cave as well as Cave 45.
I like this play. There's all these locations to check here. Obviously, King's Tomb, Graveyard Ledge. You get these out of the way right now. You don't have to worry about getting to them later.
And we get ourselves the map to Thieves Town.
Yep. Fortunately, just finding the map of Thieves Town there.
Now, we've already found out what 2 of our 3 pendant dungeons are at this point in time, which is also a good thing, at least to know what we need to get into Ganon's Tower.
Mm-hmm.
And so we find a small key here in the Graveyard Ledge. It is Turtle Rock 3.
All right, we're piling up those Turtle Rock small keys right now. Of course, the one thing that we're missing is the knowledge of what medallion we need to get in, plus a couple other items, specifically the Titan's Mitt.
Nah, we don't need those today. We're just gonna... Nah, I guess we're gonna have to play this straight.
Ooh.
Yo! That's not a bad find.
No, I will be totally honest. I was kind of thinking with... and we're going to get a Lumberjack Ledge check here on Goomba's side, but I was kind of thinking with that early cape that Bumper Ledge might have something. First, we also still need the gloves to be able to get up to Bumper Ledge in the first place.
So that key on the Lumberjack Ledge turns out to be Harris Ball.
You're
and we've seen races where that basement, after you finish that dungeon, has something in it.
Goombas are like, I've gone too far. I need to put it back.
And I'm surprised that Goomba opted not to pick up that tempered sword. Oh, he doesn't have a glove. That's why.
Yep. Yeah. That would be the case. We need that glove to be able to lift the reason to get inside. Yep.
Well, we're just a glove upgrade away from being able to lift up that rock so we can get that tempered sword.
Oh,
there we go.
Yep.
Thank you. Bye.
Yep. Okay. Welcome back to witch casting. Small key to GT.
Small key to Ganon's Tower.
That's one of the 2 that we're going to need, for sure.
Speaking of places that we haven't checked from Goomba, Trinexx is now over here at Hype Cave, where he finds himself a piece of heart, and also a small key, this one here to Skull Woods. Another piece of heart, a map, this one to Swamp Palace, and another piece of heart.
Not terrible. Not the greatest haul in the world, but not terrible. Meanwhile, Goomba is on the left side checking out this one little chest and gets a fire rod.
Oh, okay. That's a real sick location for that.
Kind of slightly displaced within its own dungeon, but could be worse.
And now Goomba can go ahead and finish off this dungeon. And we also can find out what's on our pedestal.
That we can. And of course, we're doing all dungeons, so we're going to get all 3 pendants anyway. So it's not as if it being a ped seed or anything like that would somehow be advantageous or disadvantageous one way or the other, because everyone's going to have the ability to check that pedestal and to get whatever's on the pedestal in due time. Ooh, another bottle. Almost got quick doing it.
And you're right about that, but the one big thing is that if there's something on the pedestal that is required to be a crystal dungeon, then you know that there's going to be nothing in Ganon's Tower.
That's a good point. That's a really good point, actually.
Turtle Rock and Skull Woods are 5 and 6.
Kind of surprised, the stuff we've been getting to complete all these specific dungeons are for the 2, 5, 6 crystal dungeons, which maybe you start to think that there's something at the Pyramid Fairy.
It's a very good thought. And that's a very good Mothula fight, too.
Really nice. Map of GT.
Oh gosh, one of our useless maps.
It's the most important map. You need to know where to go, right? How do I get to the big tower that's in the distance that I can see for miles around?
That's a fair point.
And we are going to get the intel check here on what's hiding on the pedestal. It is.
And it's just 3 bombs, so that tells us that we will not be lifting the pedestal for any sort of reason. Also means that the items that are possibly necessary to be our pendant dungeons could very well be in Ganon's Tower. However, we already defeated Hera. We found both the small and big key. So, not today. At least for that one.
And just a big 20, a digging game. We did see Trinexx earlier check with Stumpy, and he found the compass. So Stumpy, again, has let us down. We will see him very soon again.
And the other thing is, with Ice Palace being a pendant as well, these runners are not going to be searching for those Ice Palace keys. Now, they could very well be in Ganon's Tower, but they're not going to need them.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Goomba going for that sword. Not a bad idea.
That sword that he couldn't lift the rock to a few moments ago that somebody thought he possibly could have. I don't know who that person was. I think they were messed up in the head.
It happens to the best of us. But Trinexx, meanwhile, going over to Pod.
No, you're the sane one. I'm the one who's messed up. Don't argue with the co-commentator.
I'm not going to argue with you. But Goomba's probably heading over to Village of Outcasts. Probably a dip into Thieves' Town as well. We'll assume that this will be the play. Just makes the most logical sense.
Yeah, and then you're going to check the first 4 of Thieves' Town. Obviously, we can't finish it without the big key. Mm-hmm. But you are going to check these first spots here. You're going to check the chess game, you're going to check the Sea House, and then you're going to check the brewery. Just in case the Thieves' Town big key turns out to be in one of these 3 locations.
And just a big green rupee. Such joy. Such joy.
No, that's Link's Awakening that tells you joy when you get rupees.
Valid point.
Ooh. And there's our Titan's Mids. And there is the camera adjustment there for Trinexx, and now was able to get himself to these 2 spots here. Everything is lining up perfectly here for Goomba, and if Trinexx is to get back into this race, what he's going to need, and we still got a long ways away and a lot of items that we still need to have, but what Trinexx needs is something off the beaten path that Goomba might take a while to get to. Unfortunately, so far, everything's been lining up where he needs to go.
Right, and the problem really is like those far-off locations. I kind of think at this point, if the play would be to check the Grumpy Fish up in the top right of the map, that would, and the fish has got something, then yeah, that would be a pretty good play, because I feel like Goomba is going to end up isolating that for a bit here, having made that early Zora play.
Now the nice thing is that we are able to lump together Catfish together with the check of Zora, but the question is when do you make that play? Obviously, Goomba now has a whole bunch of options open to him with the Titan's Mitt. He's going to have the Breadsmith Chain open up to him. He's also got the Misery Mire area open up to him as well. We haven't seen any medallions just yet, either.
Yeah, that's kind of been interesting, as we really haven't seen the something like a medallion or something, or anything that would indicate that, hey, you can go up to Turtle Rock and maybe check that. But who knows? Maybe there's something hidden up in like Hookshot Cave. Because we do now have, on Goomba's side, we do have access to Dark World, Death Mountain, and Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot Cave and all that. So there could still be something there, but we're going to check the Smith chain first before we do all that.
Yeah, and I think if you're Trinexx, if you're Two Pearl, Two Furious, one of the teammates here, or one of the team, or people that are cheering them on here in this logjam that is considered the Lost Woods division, you are hoping that maybe Catfish or Zora has something at this point. Now, Trinexx can't check this after he's done because he still doesn't have the glove, but it's all whether or not Trinexx feels that there might be something there. And again, if it's on the beaten path, Goomba's going to get it. Oh!
Ooh!
That's a bow.
Yeah, that's another small key Turtle Rock from the Smiths, but that... I don't think we saw that from Goomba.
No, we didn't.
No.
He never checked the big key chest.
Oh my.
That is one of those off the beaten path now. Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah, that obviously with, being a boa, that could certainly come into play here in the not too distant future if Goomba doesn't go back and check that and is just kind of waiting to check other locations.
So we're getting some of the same checks here from Goomba that we saw from Trinexx earlier. But yeah, if you're just tuning in here at the 50-minute mark, this is a very tightly packed Lost Woods division where 4 teams sit at 24 points right now, including the last locationers. The other 3, they've already played all of their matches for this week, so last locationers could take the division lead outright with a win here. 2 Pearl, 2 Furious wins. That means we have 5 teams for 24 points, and whoever wins tomorrow will be entering week 7 with the division lead. Top 3 of the division go to the playoffs, so it's crazy that 2 of these teams that are at 21 or 24 points, they're not going to make the playoffs.
No, that's I don't feel like you would have thought that at the start here in any division, but this one especially, this has been super tight throughout. Just everybody's been kind of feeling like they've been trading wins and beating up on the teams that have been unlucky enough to not be in here with that fight,
Yeah, the unfortunate recipients of that was Major Mistakes and Team Hime, both sitting at 1-11 record at the end of week number 6.
Yeah. But
are we getting the first check of Swamp play coming up here? No, we're not. We're going to get the tablet check here.
And Trinexx is going to get some of these checks we've already seen Goomba do. Ooh, okay. That's
do you want the fetch location. Quest?
We've already had one. We've already had sort of one, so why not?
We had one. What's another one?
Doesn't hurt. Goomba is going to check Bombos, and for Goomba's troubles,
it's a Ganon's Tower small key.
Okay, that will be worth it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
We saw that from Trinexx a little while ago, so Trinexx does have that small key in his pocket. Now time for the Misery Mire checks.
Mm-hmm. Get to see Mire Shed. We'll get to see what medallion we need to get into Mire, and Checkerboard Cave. Presumably it's going to be Ether, it looked like.
That's what it looked like to me. The Bolt coin.
That's what I thought it was. Make those blocks go away and boom. Yep.
That was unfortunate. There's
Yep.
There's the big key to Palace of Darkness.
Yep. We've all been there, Goomba. We've all done that. But at least just gets to walk in and out and gets the quick reset, and there we go.
So at this point, if I'm remembering correctly, Goomba does have one Palace of Darkness small key at this point, so he needs another one if he's going to get that bow.
Yep.
Problem is, he's probably not going to go back to pod until he gets a bow.
Yep. And further problem would be that if he finds a bow just along the way here, Trinexx will probably find it as well, and that will be silvers for Trinexx.
Knowing how the seed likes to play out sometimes, it's probably in Ganon's tower, that second bow.
Right.
That would be the worst case scenario for last locationers.
Yep. You know, Trinexx gonna be taking on Mothula as Goomba is handling the Lamolas. So we'll get dueling boss fights here.
Five rupee pickup.
Just big five
and
Trinexx.
barely finishing in the fight. There we go. That was a little worrisome for Trinexx, but he does finish off the fight, gets the map to Ganon's tower, but more importantly, he has his first crystal as Goomba picks up his second.
Checkerboard cave check here for Goomba. And what's it?
I do want to remind you that defeat of Desert Palace is still out of logic. Unless this is the Desert Palace small key here. Nope, Misery Mire. They put the key underneath the doormat this time around.
Well, actually, they put it underneath the fake rock.
Ha ha.
Well, that is actually a thing. People have like the fake rocks. So, in case anyone's unfamiliar with it, they do actually make like fake rocks that you can get, and you can put like a key or something inside of it. So,
oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yep. There's the small
and
key
we get
as well.
a small key from the shovel, and
Ooh.
That's a big one.
Yep, that's gonna be handy.
And with that small key in hand, Goomba's heading right straight for Swamp Palace because that opens up a big treasure trove of items.
A whole bunch of stuff that's locked behind that one small key that gets you in. Yeah, Goomba making the play here to go for the value, well, presumed value within Swamp Palace.
And there is Trinexx getting the glove, so now he can get the Tempered Sword off Bumper Ledge.
So, yep, just over 57 minutes in to this match, and both runners kind of having a little bit of an advantage one way and the other based on what they've got. Trinexx having that bow is going to be not at a disadvantage right now. Goomba's already been in the pod and has not found that, but Goomba a little bit further ahead in the, well, I guess you would call the progression chain here. Just has a couple additional items, is a little bit further along in finding stuff and getting 2 items, so still actually probably a pretty close race until we know if Goomba's going to go back and find that bow in pod, or if and when Goomba goes back to pod here, because we're getting all kinds of things that are letting us go into other dungeons. So
yeah,
that's just being pushed back a little bit more and more every time.
And there's the Tempered Sword for Trinexx. And this race will come down to a couple of aspects here. Obviously, Trinexx is behind on the crystal count. Obviously, getting the bow is a pretty big find, especially given we don't know where that second bow is going to be. That second bow could very well be bow blocked, and that would be the best case scenario for 2 Pearl 2 Furious, as long as this game continues to spout off items for the last locationers.
It's very much a situation where the longer it's going to take for Goomba to get that first bow, it really depends on if we keep finding items that keep indicating, hey, you can go to this dungeon now, you can go to this dungeon, you can go to this dungeon, and that just keeps getting pushed back. And if that second bow is bow locked, well, it's going to take a while.
So we see Goomba doing the ice or the diver down trick and pulls it off really fast. And here's the mitts for Trinexx.
Yeah, using that Samaria block just to kind of clip through and land on the lower layer without splashing. So it's a very helpful little clip that you can practice and perfect. There's also a secondary version of that uses a bomb instead of the Samaria block, which is very helpful when you don't have the cane.
How good are your diver downs?
Not very good at all. I haven't really had a chance to practice too much, so I know how it works.
Yeah, it's a technique that it's a technique that the more that you practice, the better you get at it. But as long as you aren't familiar with it or haven't practiced it a whole lot, then it can take a little while for you to get the perfect alignments and whatnot.
Yeah, a lot of the little tricks are like that. Anything that requires an alignment, Icebreaker can be like that a little bit. Especially Hammer Yump. That one takes a lot of practice and just making sure that you know where you need to be placement wise.
And so Trinexx now about ready to pick up this purple chest. Now, don't forget, he has already checked the... What did we just get?
Desert Palace small key. So,
so now that's officially in logic.
Yes. So that brings Goomba within logic, and it kind of bails him out a little bit. So if Goomba would like to go back and check, and Trinexx can go ahead and check the first 4 and leave the chest behind.
Interesting that he had the chest trailing him for it, but here we go.
Yeah, maybe just wanted to bring a friend along. Another diver down there from Goomba, getting a big key. Thieves Town, okay.
Oh!
Ooh, there's Quake.
And there's the Quake. However, do we need that Quake? We don't know.
Ooh!
Well, we do need that. That's the Ice Rod.
Yes. I'm getting a sinking Rick, I'm getting a sinking feeling that Turtle Rock might be in the carts here shortly.
Why do you have that feeling?
I just don't know. You're finding, Ice Rod and a medallion, and now you have, as long as it's not Bombos or Ether, everything that, if it's Quake, basically, I should say, you've got everything you need to get in, do TR, so it kind of feels like the play. Plus, you've got Super Bunny Cave and Hookshot Cave are both accessible now for you on the east side of Dark Death Mountain, so that's 6 more chests to go check, so might as well.
And also the fact that we have all 4 keys to the dungeon as well as the big key at this point.
Yep, that sticks out pretty well.
3rd crystal now for Goomba. His 4th dungeon finished overall, and here is Trinexx about to get his Swamp Small.
I have a question about Trinexx. If he uses a Quake Medallion, does his game just like Hardlock? I'm kidding.
In that case, let's just hope that it's not the Quake Medallion to get into Turtle Rock, because otherwise, I think this is going to be a one-sided affair.
Yeah.
So Trinexx is about to get to the Palace of Darkness big key here, and something about that is now going to allow him to finish that dungeon. That is something that Goomba can't do right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting ready to check Super Bunny. Two checks in here, then we'll have the checkerboard cave coming up as well.
Yep, that will be pretty interesting to see here. Nope. Just a whole lot of love inside Super Bunny, but maybe Hookshot Cave is what we need. Four more drafts in here.
And
Trinexx.
a mirror bonk for Trinexx. It can't land there.
As much as you'd like to, can't quite do that. It is a big key to Misery Mire. Okay.
Still need the ether in order to get into that dungeon, but we will have 2 keys plus the big key now for that dungeon once we do get the ether. And there's a small key to Ice Palace, and that's the only one that we're guaranteed to get before the dungeon completion. Because the other one could be behind, because the boss could officially be Kane of Samaria, and it is Quake for Turtle Rock.
I had a feeling. I had a feeling on that.
Why?
The randomizer loves just to give you all the things you need and make it super obvious. Like half the time, like, hey, you're supposed to go here, dummy.
Well, in that case, we'll see you later on when Trinexx tells us all about his hard block due to the Quake Medallion usage. For those that are just listening and here are confused, we are just joking.
Yes, we are joking about that. It's because of the sprite that Trinexx has.
Yeah, for the map.
Yes. Yep. So yeah, it won't actually affect them. It's just the for anyone who's wondering about the sprites, yeah, it's all visual. It's a link underneath that, so just how you would like to dress it up. So Trinexx will be quite alright.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are now just what appears to be officially 2 items for Go Mode.
Mm-hmm.
There's a small key to Gan's Tower. And of course, Trinexx is going to be taking that Swamp Small and heading into Swamp Palace. And we find ourselves the compass to Desert Palace. So, as far as items are concerned, we still need the Eastern Big.
Yes.
We also still need the Ether. And technically, for logical Go Mode, we would need the Ice Palace Big Key, but these runners don't need that. Of course, we also need to find 2 Palace of Darkness Small Keys for logical Go Mode as well, but that's not going to happen.
Nope. Chain Chomps are doing quite a number here on Goomba, but it's going to be alright.
They had some wonderful coaching about defense.
Mm-hmm.
As we go through this Turtle Rock, trying to see, and with 4 keys, now you know you can do Lava Chest. And just as a advice for anybody who is watching this that is new to Randomizer, track your keys properly before you open this door. I don't know why I'm telling you this. Maybe some sort of life lesson that I got bailed out hard back on
Yeah, maybe.
Tuesday in my race.
Maybe. That's a possibility. Outside possibility.
So Goomba here dealing with the Pokies, and Pokies weren't playing real nice this time around. But the Pokies will play nice for Trinexx because that's his sprite. As we get ready to check the Mimic Cave, a reminder to be sure to follow these runners with the fantastic run through the world of Hyrule that they are going and taking us on here in this league match.
Absolutely, and those are the links in chat.
Yo!
Yep.
Palace of Darkness small right there.
Very nice. And of course, big chest coming up here in just a moment. Ooh,
There's the Ether! Also, shoutouts to Mindful Beast. He's the one clicking the buttons in the background, making sure that everything lights up as soon as we get all of these items.
Yep, it's about to say that Mindful Beast doing the hard job of tracking all this stuff. It can be especially frustrating sometimes because the back end will occasionally eat inputs, and they can be a pain in the butt to deal with. But we have a wonderful team of trackers who get through it all for us. So much thanks to Mindful Beast and all of our trackers, making our jobs a little bit less chaotic.
Yeah, and a big thank you to you, my Mihan Tiger, for joining me for this.
Of course, and thanks to you as well, Rick. I feel like we're giving our wrapping up speech for some reason halfway through the race, but we still have quite a bit to go.
Well, we had a few moments here where we had nothing going on. Might as well
Yep.
say when we got nothing going on.
Might as well.
Going to the Cape. Something is missing the big key, says Trinexx. Well, maybe we'll find the big key here. That's a disgusting place if you find the Swamp Big here. There's the Palace of Darkness 6. So that now guarantees that Goomba has no reason not to check the big key chest. But the question is, he's not going to go back in until he gets the bow.
Correct.
And if you're either of these runners, you're wondering if you're behind because of the few annoying aspects, but obviously Trinexx, with his rough start to the seed. But here's the Trinexx fight for Goomba.
Gotta watch his
Gotta be a
health.
little careful.
But he's got that red. He's got that red. Yep. And
he's got a fairy as well, but he's good.
Yeah.
You know, Trinexx is gonna have to be careful of his health too, more out of the fact that one bop from Argus will do 2 hearts damage, but he looks like he's gonna be fine.
So I think maybe that bow being in pod is not necessarily the worst thing in the world for Goomba either, because it's a big key and it's
Big key to Skull Woods, one of the 2 that we don't want to see, but they are out there in the pool as well.
So I was gonna say, Rick, yeah, that the big key, not the big key, but the bow actually being within pod is not necessarily the worst thing in the world, because it's not like he's not like. Oh, yep.
We did learn that the Palace of Darkness and Turtle Rock are crystals, which we just saw from Goomba.
Yeah, not necessarily the worst in the world that the bow is in pod, because you may very well go back there just to go and see if it is in there. But obviously,
nice palace. Oh boy.
Well. Now again, this being all dungeons means that everybody's going into all these dungeons, so there's not really especially based on what we know, there's not really a situation where it's necessarily, hey, you gotta go here, do this thing right now, or you're not going to be able to get any further and get any more progress. We're kind of seeing things pretty even so far as runners getting into and out of dungeons without much of a problem. But
we see Goomba taking care of the torches over here on the left-hand side to get ourselves the red rupee.
We are still looking for
So we're down to two.
I was gonna say
we're down to two big keys left in the pool.
Yeah, that's what I was definitely going to mention, that we're just kind of looking for that eastern big key, as we're seeing a little bit of a nice icebreaker there from Trinexx. Yeah,
it's a broken stick.
Yep, eastern big key is the one that's probably the more important of the two right now.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
You don't want to see the swamp big.
Right.
And there's 10 arrows in the cutscene chest, and there's the blue cane for Trinexx.
Mm-hmm.
Nice right there for Trinexx.
Ooh. I always love that transition when you can hit it.
And
There's
big key, Eastern Palace.
Ooh.
We are in no mode.
Nicely done.
And there's the Ice Palace big key. I forgot about that big key too.
Mm-hmm.
Because the one I was thinking about was Swamp Palace. So we know that Trinexx wants to see a small key to the Palace of Darkness, but we know he's not going to find one.
Nope.
Because they're both in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, so it would indicate to me that TR would be the next best play for Trinexx. Trinexx needs to go home. Go to your home, Trinexx. But yeah, hopefully that's the play we'll see here shortly from Trinexx, and then should be very shortly in go mode after that. Now the question is where Goomba goes next. Yeah,
well, that's a nice creative use of the Pokey bunny sprite.
I was just gonna say it's a nice little Pokey bunny sprite there. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I kind of think on Goomba's side that probably Ice Palace is the next play we see, is trying to get that spooky action. Doesn't quite get it, unfortunately, so gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. But I feel like for Goomba, the next play is gonna be Ice Palace. You don't have that bow. You don't have. You don't really want to do Eastern Pod until you've got that Eastern Big and the bow, because you like to do it back to back. Trinexx probably will be thinking, I would assume Turtle Rock. Get that out of the way. I know. Again, Trinexx probably also wondering, can I save that to last and just save my climbs up the mountain? But getting the flute out already makes me think that we're going to be seeing the... Nope.
Thieves Town. Okay. No, he's going back to Link's house. I think he wanted to go to Thieves Town.
Yep. Did.
Trinexx might be trying to save Turtle Rock for last, as somebody points out in chat, but that's not going to work out in his favor here.
No, it's not going to work out in his favor. Especially if Goomba goes and does Ice Palace and then goes and does Eastern Pod.
Yeah, and if he gets Eastern big, then he's got incentive to go back into the pod.
Yep.
And if once he finds that bow, then pretty much we know exactly where he's going.
Yep. Not going to be much. Actually going to check the Desert Palace.
Oh, the right-hand side.
Right side. Yep.
Good timing, yeah.
It's not a bad call.
Got the small key inside of Swamp Palace. Skull small, which is useless. And bombs, no.
Nope. It's nothing really there. But, I do kind of feel like Ice Palace will be the decision here. We'll probably see him flute the 8. Yep.
There you go.
See,
Flute to 8, and therefore he will get his Eastern Palace big key.
Yeah, to paraphrase the fine movie Glengarry Glen Ross, ABCD always be completing dungeons. That's a pretty good, just in general, that's a pretty good way to kind of route if you ever get stuck. Just always try and look for whatever dungeon you can get to and go through.
This is turning out to be a semi-fast seed for the nuances that this seed offered us at the beginning.
Yeah, you don't normally think you're sitting here at under an hour and a half looking at Key Sanity, all dungeons, and being like, okay, well, we're in go mode, and we have, like, almost all of the dungeons done. It's just been really good play from both runners, but Goomba having a little bit more efficient play, I think, really being the difference here.
And technically, this dungeon is not logically beatable by Trinexx, but you're not rearranging your game plans out of that Thieves Town small key.
Right, but yeah, it's Vortex of Doom in chat has mentioned, Trinexx is in dungeon mode, this is close, and I would wholeheartedly agree with that. You're not really losing a lot of time here, just completing this and getting it out of the way. If you go up to Turtle Rock immediately afterward and do that.
We are going to get a new check here from Goomba. Maybe. Oh yeah, he definitely is going to check it.
Oh yeah.
The Ice Palace big key chest. Or the big chest, rather. As he gets the Eastern Palace big key right there. And a heart container.
Absolutely, it's heart container. And Goomba's going to check all these other locations. Just looking for a bow. A bow that you walked right past. And yeah, there's Trinexx going up onto Death Mountain. So we know this will be a play over to Dark Death Mountain and Turtle Rock. So this is definitely a wise play by Trinexx.
Oh yeah, and once he does get the Palace of Darkness key number 5, because he's not going to worry about Palace of Darkness 6. Once he gets that key plus the ether, he will be in go mode. Goomba likely will do Thieves Town next.
Yeah, that's probably a good assessment. Because you really, like we've been talking about here, you really don't want to do pod and have to, or at least go into pod and have to go back out because the bow's not there. So make it a gamble that back half of Thieves Town has a bow.
As Trinexx checks stuff we've seen already here in Super Bunny and then into Hookshot Cave as Goomba gets ready to face off against Cold Stare. The Lost Woods Division. The 8 and 2 last locationers, the 7 and 3, 2 Pearl, 2 Furious. Currently a 4-way tie with 24 points apiece, 3 of them having already played out their matches at 8 and 4. I like Big Boots, the spoilers, Triple Dino, Disaster. What a fantastic division this has turned out to be. A whole lot of fun here in this division.
Yeah, next week's gonna be great watching all of the races. We're gonna have to watch all the races because it's gonna come down to the wire between all of these teams. Even if Two Pearl Two Furious loses tonight, there's another game tomorrow where they could still get that 24th point, and we could have a 4-way tie for the
second place,
second and third place. Yeah.
Top 3 teams move on to the playoffs. The top team gets a Week 8 bye, whereas the second and third teams will be facing off each other in Week 8. Last locationers, Lin, Illis, and Goomba. Didn't get to mention who was on these teams earlier. Two Pearl, Two Furious, featuring Scary Olive, Aussie 28, and Trinexx.
Ooh. Yeah, that's... neither of those teams are slouches at all. Aussie just had... I know at SG Live, Aussie was in a couple of the tournaments there and did really well.
Yeah, exactly. Probably glad that the league took that week off so he could concentrate on those SG Live tournaments. So we did see Goomba check the Skullwood's big chest. Turned out to be another heart container to put him up to 16 hearts overall. Now time to go into Thieves Town. There is Ganon's Tower Key, and Trinexx will soon get Pod 5. And we mean OC, not Aussie. Aussie's a different runner.
Right. They're just off by one.
Similar names.
Yes. I will admit this is not the first time I've confused them. I know they're different.
Let me ask you this question here, getting back to this race here. Let me let me have you go into the shoes of Goomba at this point.
Yes.
What's going through your mind? You're one item from Go Mode. And it could be a lot of different locations.
Yeah, I'm just at this point, I'm just kind of like thinking back, okay. Looking over where haven't I checked yet? What did I skip? What logically could I get in that makes sense without having to figure everything else out.
At what point in time do you start to worry that the Zora you didn't have enough rupees for at the very beginning of this seed might have what you want for Go Mode?
Probably after I go into a dungeon and I come out empty-handed. I go into a pod and I come out empty-handed, and I'm just like, well, shoot. Because, there's a couple of... There's still some pod checks. There's still big chests in Eastern. It's one of those situations you really hope it's not there, or you really hope it is there in one of those locations, because you just want to be able to just launch out of that and go. You really hope that you don't find nothing, because then the panic starts to set in. Then the worry starts to set in. It's at Pyramid Fairy. It's at Catfish. It's at Zora. It's somewhere I've overlooked. Hera basements. But yeah, I would feel like at this point I'd be a little bit worried, but I'd also kind of be like trying to think, okay, logically, where do I go to be efficient? Mm-hmm. Where's
the next minute is going to determine this race.
Yep. And it's still going to be really close either way. Trinexx is almost all the way to having that Go Mode item.
Yep, and he's about to get it in about 1 minute from now. Yep. Get the Pod 5 out of here, and then get the Ether in the next check, and then he will be in Go Mode.
Yep.
And there's pendant out of Thieves Town right there. That was our third and final pendant. So, of course, we know Eastern is going to be a crystal. All right, here's the big decision. If Goomba goes to 5, this is his race.
Yep.
And that is exactly where he's going. As at 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 49 seconds, Trinexx is the first of these runners into Go Mode. And Goomba's going to be trading in that green pendant.
Mm-hmm.
But he did not go into the Dark World.
Maybe not yet. Maybe doing that afterward. It's kind of, I don't know. Like, don't tell me he's gonna go into
Oh,
Eastern.
single
It's a
arrow.
single. That's cruel. He's just taunting us at that point. Yeah, he's getting a
Does he
fluke.
go
So
back to 5?
I think so. Yep. Nope.
No, he's
gonna
going
go
to
4.
Link's house.
Okay.
This could be a catfish into Zora check.
Whew. It could be. We'll see here. Or it could be pod.
No, it's
No.
catfish into Zora.
No. Well, it's gonna tighten up quite a bit then.
Yeah. And don't forget, Trinexx still has to go through Misery Mire.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, still advantage Goomba, but
But
the
with
time
Trinexx in
is
go mode,
ticking. Yep. Now, this could be a bow. This could be a bow up here.
and that's the thing is that we
Yeah.
could still find the bow coming up in these checks.
I think Goomba's just this is just, I guess for safety reasons, just checking everything here. I get the small key.
Oh, key to Ice
Palace.
Palace. All right, well that's that second key that we speak of for Ice Palace.
Mm-hmm.
All right, to Zora.
Why wouldn't this be something?
Maybe this is a $500 stick and twine.
Alright. Trinexx out of the dungeon, gonna save and quit.
Oh,
It's Mirror Shield.
Mirror Shield. Now the question is does Goomba check another loose square? I think we still have do we still have Spike Cave, or did he check that?
No, we still have Spike Cave.
That's where he's going now. Yeah.
Yeah. He's checking some of these loose leaf locations, which I don't know.
He's
Like,
he's gonna
obviously
run out of
this could be
locations.
right. That's the only that's the only positive, is that he's gonna eventually run out of things to check here. He's gonna run out fairly quickly. Both runners have been fairly thorough on their location here, but we are seeing Trinexx is going back to Desert Palace, and he's going to clear it in one shot.
Oh, he's going to
Eastern
Hera
Palace.
Basement.
Oh goodness.
Oh no.
Well. There's that second bow.
Well,
That
if he
could be here. Boy, that would be
if
that would
it's
be
the second
something.
bow, then that's lucky.
That would be something. But yeah, Trinexx now this is just free time at this point,
Yeah. And again, still needs to do Misery Mire. Goomba's time is starting to run out. Maybe he
Right.
finds second bow here. Who knows?
He's gotta hope. And I know why he's doing this. It's a calculated gamble that it's hiding somewhere that he's already had access to and just hasn't checked yet. But
I do want to remind people.
that could eventually hit him the pod. Yeah.
I do. Oh, nice glitch right there. That's just a compass to Ganon's Tower. I do want to remind people that there was a Turtle Rock small key that was bow blocked. However, that very well could have just been Turtle Rock 4 at this point, and only for Trinexx.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, this will be basically, once he's got that bow, it'll be Desert Palace, Eastern Palace back to back for Goomba versus
Small
Eastern
key to
Palace.
Ganon's Tower. No.
GT. Didn't really need that one.
Yeah, you don't need GT4 at this point. Trinexx gonna have to be a little careful here. He is not gonna get the blue mail, whereas Goomba did get it in Misery Mire. See, Trinexx taking it a little easier now on this Helmsar. Needs to get 4 slashes. There we go.
There we go.
And now Goomba going into the Dark World. Here we go.
Yep. This is going to be pod play. But it's going to be a lot closer than it needs to be right now. So
20 rupees there for the Helmsar. Does Goomba check the big key chest immediately, or does he go to the back and check the big chest first?
I think you check the chest. That's quicker to get to, and I think that's the big key chest at this point. It's there.
Yeah.
It's up front. You don't have to go back to the back if it's there. So get that one out of the way first if you can. You have the keys.
Here we go. Goomba with the bombs out. He's got this.
Boy, this is going to be tighter than it looked like about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, and here we go. So at 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 7 seconds, Goomba will be the second. Make it 8. Make it 8 seconds. There we are. That's go mode for Goomba.
Yep. I know if you're Goomba, you're frustrated at this point that it was there and you could have checked it earlier. But there's no time. There's no time to sit there and be angry at yourself. It's just go. It's just go at this point.
Go time. Yep. Go time. Yeah.
You know that you gave up time there, so you need to execute now.
All right, and don't forget, once again, Trinexx still has to finish off Misery Mire. I know I keep saying it, but it's just more of a don't look at who's right now ahead in these 2 dungeons, because once these paths merge in Ganon's Tower, that's when we really will find out who has the lead. Trinexx about ready to face off against the Armos Knights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think definitely at this point Goomba's a little bit ahead, but it's definitely not the one dungeon lead that we saw earlier. This is going to be much closer.
Trinexx fell behind early because he ended up having to triple dip Aga Tower, having to go back through the Hyrule Castle, getting a nice refund on those arrows. Oh, nice turtle room there for Goomba. We're getting treated to some great execution now from 2 masters of this.
Absolutely. There's a reason these teams are so well placed right now.
Yeah.
Yep, and there's the flute off the 6, and here we go.
And this is a quick Misery Mire here for Trinexx with that 2 keys in hand. It just goes straight to Vitreous.
Right. I think it'll be a little bit quicker. Obviously, Eastern Palace will be a little quicker, going straight back to Armos Knights, but this will still be fairly fast.
Mm-hmm. There is the defeat of the Helmsar King for Goomba. Here is the opening of Misery Mire for Trinexx. Crystal Grab for Goomba. I'm going to think that when these paths merge with the flute to 1, it's going to be Goomba in the lead by about a minute, and execution is going to matter extremely big in this what's going to be a close race into Ganon's Tower.
I would say that's probably my best guess as well, Rick. It'll probably be about a minute difference between the 2.
It was probably going this way.
Yep. Gonna go to the right here.
Of course, he's got no reason to open up a single chest in the side of this dungeon. Yeah, that seemed like that was a pretty fast path on through. You only really want, the key to help you get to the chest a whole lot faster. And there's the arming of the spooky action for Trinexx. Hold on. Oh boy, I don't think Trinexx wanted to have fun with a spike like that, as Goomba has already picked up the key. There's the spooky action for Trinexx.
Mm-hmm.
There's round 2. Oh,
Yep.
goodness, this is going to be tight now.
Oh, boy. This will be
my
very close.
goodness. One more combat room here for Goomba before the Armos Knights. Trinexx finishing off.
Super
beautiful,
clean on that. Very nicely done.
Fight. 11 arrows remain for him now. You do this right, you're going to be down to 11 arrows
He's
here
got 21
for Goomba.
now.
Oh, he got arrows for the prize here, so everyone's going to have 21. There it is.
Oh, boy.
The crystal grabs are together.
Very slight advantage, Trinexx. I think the thing that got him the advantage was the spooky action.
And he's got a mirror.
Yep. He's going to mirror and flute.
And here we go, friends. The flutes to 1, landing almost simultaneously, a few seconds behind his Goomba. That was a faster mire than I thought it was going to be.
Me too. That's spooky
Waffle House for Goomba.
Oh, boy. We're in sync.
They both hook at the same time.
Oh. Oh, my. Oh, my.
Oh, Deadrock for Goomba. Interference.
Yep. Oh. Still really close. This is amazing. Yeah, I think the spooky action glitch success on Trinexx's side versus the fail on Goomba's side in that regard that's the difference. That's why Goomba's ahead right now. It took a little bit longer for Trinexx. It took a little bit longer for Goomba to get through the switch room there. Oh, yep. Trinexx having a little bit of difficulty getting in the portal. Goomba gets in there first try. So
here we go. Oh, a bog for Goomba. And the 140-12, 140-13. We are about to see a battle of wits here in execution. Let's go, Gauntlet. Let's go. Neon Tiger, this is going to be fantastic.
This was going to be amazing. This is going to be something else. It's all execution from here on out. Whoever does the execution better pretty much is the winner.
Floor 3. Here we go. Mimics for 1.
Yep.
Oh, a little issue here for Trinexx, but he's done first. Goomba just right behind him.
Yeah, we're at the point now where every little micro mistake at this point, every little time you miss an arrow and the other runner gets it, it's just it matters so much.
Here we go. Who's gonna have the better RNG coming up here? Oh, beautiful use of the cape right there for Trinexx to minimize that, and they're both heading off into the last room of this third floor. Another cape usage right there. Goomba's going to go for the invincibility frames. That's going to give Trinexx a couple seconds lead up to the fourth floor. Here we go. Gauntlet execution time.
Yep. Straight up execution at this
Daffo
point.
playing mean for Goomba as well as Trinexx, but even worse for Goomba.
Yep. And now Trinexx having a little bit of trouble here with the Stuffos and Goomba now in the lead.
And Goomba takes the lead. And Goomba gets through that room faster.
Yeah, the Goomba here just very, very solid execution. A little bit of a hiccup there on Trinexx's side getting beamed into the wall. That did not help, but still well within
Two rooms apart here. As Goomba now gets ready to face off against the Lamo 2 fight. Here's Trinexx against the Lamo 2 fight. Both done. Fifth floor. 120, 142.29, 142.32, 3 seconds apart.
Yep. Most satisfying group in the game, part 1. Both runners nicely done on the Samaria block. Go across the bridge. Part 2 of the most satisfying
Trinexx having some issues on the bridge.
Oh, yep.
Oh, no, he dies!
Oh.
He's got a fairy, doesn't he?
No.
But that is going to give Goomba a lead.
Yep. That was just an unfortunate
Oh,
dash. I think he
wow.
he just caught the guards there, unfortunately, in the wrong
And he's got to
position.
calm himself down.
Yep.
2 cycles on the whiz robe.
Floor 6 now for Goomba. Gonna light these torches. Good to go on keys. Good to go on magic.
No reason to check the chests.
Yeah, Trinexx going a little bit slower here, having to because he used that magic with the cape earlier. So had to wait to get the refill here.
Here is the anti-fairies, and we do see Goomba opening up this chest, getting 20 rupees. Goomba now ready to face off against the Halmasar, or the Moldorm, rather. Halmasar was a little bit ago. Gets him tackled. Final chest. Do we open it? Yes, we do. It's a piece of heart. Goomba the first off to Aga 2. Trinexx done with Moldorm 2.
Nicely done on both. No falls, just super clean execution. And kind of wonder if both runners before the match may have said, okay, we'll open up the last chest no matter what. Because normally you wouldn't do that.
2 for Goomba.
Unless you're looking for silvers or something.
Another 2 for Goomba. Trinexx now with the Aga 2.
Yep. Cool. Gotta get that
one.
one.
This is going to take another cycle.
Oh,
That's a triple for Trinexx.
Wow. Can you get another triple here? Nope.
Nope.
Can you get a single?
And he's going to take 4 cycles too.
Yep.
And there's the finish for Trinexx.
Boy, this is still close, you know. Any mistake can get in here for Goomba, and this could easily pull back even or pull Trinexx into the lead.
It sure
145-23 drop.
Lives, dreams, hopes, where they come from. Ganon destroying our hopes and dreams. Nice first section here, but doesn't get him where he wants to go in order to get him into stage 2 immediately. There we go.
Boy, that's about a 15-second difference right now.
Oh, yeah.
But Trinexx
Goomba
does have one
stage
problem.
3.
Trinexx has one problem. He's on 1 heart.
Yeah, and there's the death right there. Does he have another fairy? It's going to lose him time.
Nope.
No, he does not.
That's kind of unfortunate.
And Ganon is warping all over the place.
Yep. One more hit to go, and then it's phase 4. And we'll find out where those silvers supposedly were. But it's in this tower?
Yes, it is. Yep. This is not free and over with just yet. There have been issues with Ganon's tower in the past. Runs decided by Ganon in stage 4 silverless. Another death for Trinexx.
Yeah,
he's losing control right now.
He's just having a little bit of trouble. Just getting refired here.
I think the problem is that death on the 5th floor knocked him out, and he's just got to get himself back under control at this point in time.
Yep. Yeah, Goomba's just got to be careful here. Watch the spins, watch who you get bounced off. Be really safe, be really efficient.
And there it is.
And there we go. Yep.
And with that, the last locationers are going to take a defined lead here in the Lost Woods division, guaranteeing themselves first place heading into week number 7 with the win over 2 Pearl 2 Furious. Get a big old GG in the chat for Goomba, finishing with a race time, that GG time of 1:47.17.
That's a great time for a All Dungeonski Sanity seed. So, and Trinexx, even though he's going to come up a little bit short in this race, very well executed, did a really good job, and he's also going to have a really good time.
Yeah, he is
here.
Let's get him here to the finish line. Nicely timed fire rod shot right there.
And we did have Aster asking in chat if Goomba last location the bow. Yeah, pretty much last locationed it.
what a race this was.
Yep.
Here's Trinexx getting Ganon down here. 12 spins to finish the seed.
Yep, and he's pretty close, so I think he just needs one or two more.
I think one more. Or one more.
And if you keep saying one more, eventually we'll get it.
There we go.
There you go.
Get your GGs in the chat here for Trinexx. And we'll cross the finish line with a race time, that GG time of 1:48:53. A race that was 3 seconds apart heading up to the 4th floor of Ganon's tower. Wow.
Yeah, that really just is... I mean, it's really a great race from both of them. Just a little unfortunate there with Trinexx having a little bit of bad luck at the end, but, you know, still powered through it and still...
I was going to say, let's go ahead and talk to Trinexx. Go ahead and finish your thought.
I was going to say, you know, you still powered through it and still got the job done. 1:48:53 is still a pretty respectable time for all Tunchinski sanity, all things considered.
And we say hello to Trinexx. Goomba will be electing not to do the interview with us since it's really, really late where he is. But Trinexx, GG to you.
Thank you. Huge shout outs to Goomba there. I watched the end of that race, and it was definitely a close one until I did some kind of oofs.
Yeah, let's talk about what ended up going on with Ganon's tower. That had to be a rough 5th floor. How much did that affect you during the Aga 2 fight as well as the Ganon fight?
I'm not sure about the Aga 2 fight, but I was definitely so thrown off by what just happened that it was just like a Spelunky level of failure. Just one thing after another fell on the floor and then died to some pit damage. But after that, though, I wasn't fully mentally in it. Then the moment I landed on Ganon the first time, I took a hug and then completely thrown off there. So, yeah, you know what? It is what it is. I don't even think that was what cost me the seed. It was basically like probably the triple dip of Castle Tower.
Yeah, we were going to mention that pretty much the triple dip of Castle Tower plus having to go back through the castle to get the boots wasn't necessarily the best for you, and also the fact that you went up to West Side Death Mountain without the boots or the mirror and had to double back for that, so that kind of cost you too. But the thing that put you back in it was the fact that you opened up the big key chest in Palace of Darkness to get that bow.
Yeah, Goomba and I were talking about that briefly. He was saying like he last location that at all, but it was... Once I opened that, though, I was basically looking for a pod key the entire rest of the game, and it was almost like my go mode.
And we do have a surprise. We do have Goomba here with us.
Hey.
Hey,
GG.
Goomba. GG.
GG's, Goomba.
Oh, Lord.
How was watching that finish back, knowing the finish of the race? How was watching that back over the 10-minute delay watch back time?
I mean, I guess nerve-wracking isn't really the right word because I knew the outcome, but still. Ugh. Man, I knew the moment I save and quit out of Dark Maze that trying to save that pod key was a mistake, but I didn't expect it to bite me quite that hard. Ugh. Yeah,
that was a really rough place for the bow, but you kept moving throughout the seed. And I think what happened to Trinexx early on in the seed kind of came back to create the distance that we had at the end and allowed you to maintain what was a very, very exciting final 6 minutes of the seed.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the rest of the seed went really, really smoothly. It was just that bow. That was the only real issue. Everything else went super well, I think.
How nice was it to get the 2 Castle Tower keys out of the way early on?
Oh, I love Aga seeds and 80 keys. It's so nice.
How about the nice little fetch quest to get you that second AT key? And then, of course,
kinda
the fetch
funny,
quest
yeah.
to get you the Swamp Small.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
the seed was
go ahead.
honestly, the seed was honestly really nice. I just not checking that chest in pod was honestly just a blatant mistake on my part.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, if you
But-
had Pod 5 at that point, it would have made your decision a whole lot easier, but
Yeah.
not having Pod 5 kind of sent you into where we went in this entire seed. So this gives you the definite lead heading into week number 7. Any thoughts heading into the second race of your matches tomorrow?
I don't know. I'll probably be asleep. But I'm sure it'll go great. Probably.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for right now. Anything you want to add, Nihon Tiger?
Not really. I guess obviously you guys are heading into week 7 here as well after tomorrow's race. Things are really tight in this division. Do you have any strategies or anything that you've been planning out ahead of time, getting ready for? I know obviously you've got to worry about tomorrow's match on both your teams, but are you guys already kind of looking ahead to next week and trying to figure out, how we're going to get through co-op Randomizer, what kind of strategies we might want to incorporate? Because obviously, regardless, the outcome of this match, you're both teams are still in this fight for the playoffs.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think really the main strategy is going to be not running into a Trinexx without the Ice Rod. That seems like a bad play. But other than that, not really.
See, go ahead.
I think my plan is basically just to have a nice ice bucket filled with beer for when the ice Trinexx happens. I would be fully prepared for how the rest of the seed goes.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to have. I don't think we're going to have the face cams required for next week, so we won't be getting to see Trinexx just hanging back there, dangling a bottle of beer in his mouth as he's trying to finish the seed. But, anyways, it will be. I think we will all be looking forward to all of your races next week in this Lost Woods division, because it's going to be some incredibly close races, incredibly fun races, especially if it's anything like we've seen tonight. So
especially stressful considering the fact that there's still 2 teams that are currently sitting with 21 points right now, or 24 points. 2 of those teams might not make the playoffs.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this all shapes out, because this division is a mess. Most of them are, but this one's a mess.
Yeah, and you all the teams on the top face each other next week. That's the most amazing part of all of this.
At least that worked out
Yeah.
interesting. I think for the most part, try to keep it as kind of not as stressful next week, because I think this is the best we've done so far with our team in all 3 seasons. So you know what, we're plugging along. So as long as the last day can just chill out and find some sort of way to go, it is what it is.
Yeah, at least you've put yourself in a position where you're not going to be relegated.
yeah, I think that's about it for me. That's all I really had to ask about was next week. And that's I was kind of wondering. So thank you guys for giving a heads up. And of course, as always, make sure to follow our runners, because they are incredibly talented, incredibly skilled folks that you want to follow, because it's going to be good content.
I do want to put out the plug here. We do have 2 races tomorrow, and one of them is to involve these 2 teams. So tomorrow, 4:10 p.m. Eastern Time, 1:10 p.m. Pacific, or 10:10 p.m. Central European Time, is going to be the final race of week number 6. Lin versus OC28.
Ooh,
that will
will
be a
good.
fun finale for week number 6. Also, earlier in the day at 12:10 p.m. Eastern, which is 9:10 a.m. Pacific, we have the match between JP and Magnificent. That will be between WJP, DTB, and Old Swagga Jackson. Those are the 2 matches on the agenda for the final day of the All Dungeons Key Sanity.
Absolutely. That's both those matches are going to be some excellent matches. So yeah, make sure to follow the Speed Gaming family of channels. That will be Speed Gaming, and then 2 through 6. So just add a number on the back of those, as well as the ALTTPR League channels. I believe we're up to ALTTPR League 4 at the most. I think, Rick.
Yeah.
I think we got the original, and then we've got 2, 3, and 4. So yeah, if you follow all of those channels, you'll get the if you have your notifications enabled, you'll get pinged every time that one of these races begins, as well as a bunch of other really cool Speed Gaming content and races and whatnot here on the Speed Gaming channel. So yeah, it's definitely worth the follow. Of course, I want to thank Mindful Beast for doing the wonderful, and it's sometimes thankless, but we always make sure to thank him job of tracking.
And sometimes stressful.
Yes, sometimes stressful when there's like 6 things popping up at once, but couldn't have done it without you. So thank you so much, Mindful Beast. Much appreciated. And of course, Rick, as always, thanks for co-comment. Always enjoy working with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Enjoyed working with you, and this was a fantastic race. Be sure to give our runners a follow, Goomba90, Trinexx _, and that is how you'll be able to keep up with them, because they also do a whole bunch of ladder races as well as other fun modes that we don't get to see here during the league. So be sure to give them a follow. Be sure to give everyone a follow. So thank you for joining us. I'll leave you to the final word here, Neon Tiger. I'm Adirondack Rick saying thank you for joining us.
And I'm Neon Tigers. Just remember, someone out there loves you, love you too. Take care of yourselves, one and all, and we'll see you next time. Have a good night.